Brigitte nerfs, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's do this. So, Brigitte is probably one of the most hated characters in the game. That's a very strong statement to make, but it is true, I think. A lot of people feel really frustrated when Brigitte comes in and smashes their brains out. It's not a good feeling. The thing with Brigitte is, I think she's very effective at certain points of Overwatch, certain skill levels, and then she's not that effective at higher levels, but she can still be. I mean, you look at Overwatch League, she's still quite effective in certain team comps. She catches even the pro gamers off guard. So there's a lot of, like, pros and cons of Brigitte, but I think a lot of it just comes down to the fact she can shield bash you. So in comes some Brigitte nerfs. Now check this out. Shield bash, cooldown increase from 6 to 7 seconds. Developer comments on this. Slightly increasing the cooldown will give Brigitte's opponents more opportunity to play around her shield bash ability. Okay, let's go into what Jeff Goodman actually said when he expanded on this in the post on the forum. So he says this: Brigitte, shield bash is Brigitte's strongest ability, and in short cooldown makes it very difficult to play around. We'd like to keep her shield bash and subsequent melee combos powerful and effective, while just allowing a little more counterplay against it. We've talked about possibly reducing her defense somewhere, such as reducing her barrier health. However, her tank hybrid nature is a core part of her kit, and we want to make sure she maintains that feeling of being a difficult target to take down. Overall, Brigitte's win rate is still the highest of any support, despite dishing out the lowest amount of raw healing per second. This speaks volumes to how powerful her kit can be outside of direct healing numbers. Right, so it's interesting what he says there about Brigitte being a hybrid sort of tank support. She is, and she does feel very tanky. Remember, she's got a 500 HP barrier. She can go into the fight. She's quite tanky herself. When she's attacking people, she triggers Inspire, which is her heal ability, so that heals her. It heals people around her. She's quite hard to kill. That's the problem with Brigitte. She's just difficult to kill. She can stun you if you get near her. In tank comps, she's really, really strong. What interests me, though, the most is the fact that they actually spoke about reducing her tankiness, but then decided against it, because that's exactly what they want the hero to be. So when we look at Brigitte and we look at the way she's being used, you can see in this video clip, remember, this is PTR, so remember, skill levels of the players are kind of all over the place. I am just going absolutely ham. And kind of, let's be honest, this is how you play Brigitte anyway, when you're playing in competitive or quick play, whatever. This is how you play it, right? You just go in, you mash people. If people want to come near you, hey, that's fine. They can come near you, you're going to stun them, and then you're going to try and go for the kill combo. Now, this is what I want to talk about. When you stun them, so if you stun melee, then whip shot, you will do a ton of damage. If you melee, stun, whip shot, you will do a ton of damage. This is enough to kill a Tracer, a Genji, and people like that, right? You will take them out if they dare to get near you, like a McCree, whatever, you're going to kill them. I think, though, they should potentially look at reducing maybe her damage. I know this sounds really crazy, right? Because Brigitte doesn't really do that much damage, and that's not what she's there for. She's disruptive. She creates, well, she doesn't create chaos, but she prevents offensive heroes from doing their work if they get too close to her. She has a stun, which is way better than McCree's flashbang. It's literally the best stun in the game. Like, let's not beat around the bush here, ladies and gentlemen. You go into this with a Genji ult, she stuns you. Well, it's tough luck. You're a Roadhog, you're ulting, she stuns you. Hey, it's tough luck. You're a Reinhardt charging. Hey, she stuns you. It's tough luck. You know, there's a lot of heroes that get shut down completely by Brigitte just being in the team. And this is the thing with Brigitte, right? She is one of the, as I said, universally hated heroes because she's quite effective. She almost seems very obnoxious. It doesn't feel great when Brigitte kills you, especially when you're stunned, because it's one of those moments where you're playing the game, you're like, yeah. Oh, I'm stunned. So you just take your hands off the keyboard. You're like, well, whatever. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you do, right? It doesn't feel great. There's another hero in the game that does that, and that's Doomfist in a much more severe way, I think. But Doomfist is kind of balanced in the sense of, well, not balanced in the sense of gameplay, let's say, but balanced in the sense of he either feeds his brains out or he annoys the enemy team so they start raging. So he either rages your team or tilts your team or tilts the enemy team. Anyway, well, enough about Doomfist. This is about Brigitte. Is this enough for Brigitte? Does this actually do anything to her? Because remember, this is only a 1 second nerf. This isn't like some massive nerf and then suddenly it's got double the cooldown. I think it should be, like, I want them to look at her damage because of the combo, but they want to keep the combo because they think that's satisfying. It is not satisfying, Blizzard, when you get shield bashed and then get your head smashed in by a Brigitte when you're supposed to be there to deal with the supports, right? You're trying to kill them as a Tracer, as a Genji. These are the ones I'm always going to fall back onto because those are the heroes that are there to do work on the Brigitte. But let's forget about those heroes for now. Let's just talk about general kind of combat as it breaks out. Brigitte never dies. Brigitte only dies if she's heavily focused. We have all been there when we've been firing into Brigitte. You're screaming on the microphone. You're like, she's won. Brigitte's won. She's lit. Just kill her. And then it's like, oh, no, actually, I'll just bring my shield up. Whatever. And then she walks off and you're like, oh, God. Brigitte isn't dead. She's alive. We've used so many resources to try and kill her. It's insane. Now, this goes way back to when Brigitte was actually launched. This was one of the complaints I had, and a lot of people had this complaint as well. But it's Brigitte's just, you can't kill her. Like, how are you supposed to kill this hero? She was designed to counter dive comp. Remember, before she launched, Jeff Kaplan, it's like, yeah, this hero will change the meta. He said that on multiple occasions. So did other members of the team. This is a hero we're introducing to change the meta because we maybe don't like dive as much. That's why we've added Hammond, who's clearly an amazing dive tank. Anyway, but they want to change Brigitte, right? They want to bring Brigitte in to change the meta. So she appears. She's this tanky support. She can stun and lock down people who want to dive onto your back line. So straight away, we're thinking, all right, what you're going to do is take Brigitte, you're going to stick her next to Zen. Winston jumps in, you just bash the Winston, Zen's fine, we turn around and kill him. Insert any dive tank, any hero that wants to dare to get close to the back line. They can't do it anymore. One thing we didn't really realize is the fact that Brigitte requires to be in combat to be an effective healer. You cannot leave the Brigitte in the back line and just leave her with the Zen. It just won't work. You won't get any effectiveness out of her. She has to be in the fight. So at that very early time, we didn't realize that you can't just sit with the supports. Yeah, she can throw an armor pack, and that's great. What is it called? Armor pack? Repair pack. She can throw repair pack. Armor pack's 12, isn't it? She can throw repair pack out. That's fine. It's Gucci. It's cool, right? But it's only minor, that is. That's not really going to... It's not a Mercy heal, is it? It's not an Anna heal. It's not even Zen's Transcendence Orb. It's not Harmony Orb, that's it. It's not even that, is it, in terms of output? So... I mean, it's all right for a little bit of burst to keep people alive, but she needs to be in the fight. So instead, what we started to see is Brigitte takes the place of a tank or a DPS. At the pro level, Brigitte takes the place that typically Tracer players would occupy. So it's not tanks that pick her up. If you look at London Spitfire, you'll see Prophet playing her. If you look at NYXL, I think sometimes you see Sabiolby playing her. These are Tracer players. They bust out the Brigitte because she doesn't take a support slot. She doesn't take a tank slot, but she protects your team when she occupies that other kind of DPS-y slot from the enemy DPS. So this allows for a lot of counterplay in the sense of like, okay, right, the enemy team have got Genji and Tracer. We've also got a Genji and Tracer, but we've got a Zen and a Mercy as our healers. Actually, I'm playing a Tracer. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play Brigitte, and then that completely shuts down that Genji and that Tracer. And that, I think, is where people have got the issue with Brigitte, because it's just like, bang, it's like Thanos snapping his fingers. It's like, and now, well, it's not 50% of your meta's dead or whatever, but it's like, bang, that's it. There is no more of your dirty little backline action with Tracer because I'm Brigitte, so just get out of the game. I think that's the problem. But that's what Blizzard want, right? They want you to be able to keep swapping your heroes. So how do you deal with Brigitte? Well, you just kill her from range. Is that the answer? Widowmaker's in a lot of games. Hanzo's in a lot of games. She still doesn't really seem to instantly die to them. Pharah, she can put quite a lot of damage into her from range again, but is it enough to kill her? Then what about Junkrat? Quite effective against her. She's an effective hero, but she's not a hero that you just run blindly. I think where a lot of the hate comes from, as I touched on at the start of this video, is it relates to how easy she is and how effective she is to... Well, how easy she is to play to an effective level. That's what I was looking for. You don't need to be the brains of Britain. That's what my mother would say, ladies and gentlemen. To be effective with it, you just need to stay with your team, stay in that big fight, and if anyone gets near you, pretty much stun them. Yeah, you can be cute, you can be clever, and be like, okay, I'm only going to stun specific targets, or I'm going to look for when abilities are being used, or I know that this hero, like a Roadhog, is about to use his whole hog, so I'm just going to stun him. Or our Reinhardt. Right, Ryan, I'm going to work with you. What we're going to do is I'm going to stun the enemy Reinhardt, and then you can just earth shatter through. Things like that are more higher level Brigitte, but you don't need any of that. You can just be brain dead Brigitte, swing that flail around, smash everybody near you. You're healing people, kind of like Lucio would, and then if somebody gets near you that you don't like, you just flail them away, and then if anyone gets close to you, you just hit them with a shield bash. That's the thing, right? It's not difficult to play Brigitte. She's a very effective hero, but I almost think like she can be worked around. But the problem is teams won't generally change to try and counter Brigitte. And a lot of the time, the Brigitte just comes out and it's effective. Like, let's end the video on this. I mean, Jeff did say that she's got the highest win rate of any support. Let that sink in for a second. The highest win rate of any support in the game. Now, you would think it would be Mercy, because she's in every game. Brigitte's not in every game. but Brigitte is very effective. So maybe you could take away from this, hey, just play Brigitte. She's super effective, right? Just play her. That's not what I mean, don't take that as advice off me. I don't want to be seen as the guy who's like, yeah, starts a video off. He's like, universally hated hero Brigitte, so everybody should just go out there and play Brigitte. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I think this is just the start. I think she needs more in the way of changes. But again, remember, we often look at these changes through the lens of it's just Brigitte that's being changed. All the other changes that we see, all the other buffs and nerfs, potential new heroes that we don't even know about, potential new maps as well, all of this stuff comes in and can kind of play into nerf heroes in certain ways that we as players of the game literally cannot comprehend because we don't have the information. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost, and this is the continued coverage of the massive PTR changes that are just, like, massive. They're game-changing, and I think they're pretty much universally for the best. All right, guys, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.